Good morning, good morning. Yes, I'm a keen bean to be here on the rooftop this morning. I've already been out and frolicking about, and the early mornings where I live in San Miguel are just divine. I cherish them. I love to tap into all the senses, the sounds, just this. It's sensational, truly, actually, and something that I've never seen before, even though I've been living in Mexico for a few years now, is all of the piñatas. So the streets are, there's some streets, the one right over to me is like, it's just it's like I cannot even, everything is magical. It just feels so fun. I was at a cookie decorating party last night, which just went off. To be honest, it took me like a min to get into it. I was like, I don't know. It's so interesting when we do things that there's like no right way to do it, is like just dive in and have fun. But then like we like see right away the criticisms that come up, and like the way that we kind of navigate that. It's like, mine's a mess, oh, I'm not good at this, like, and it's like, okay, so let's just vibe out, and we're not being graded here, but we can slip back into that so easily. It's redonks. But I gotta share something, because I've literally been frolicking with joy this morning, which is that like life is starting to get really, really, really good. And it's not that my life hasn't been good before, but it feels like it's amounting, and like everything's contributing, and nothing for me. I'm not taking a single thing for granted. I'm just like so in awe of everything, step by step, brick by brick, that's been built and like solidly like tended to, and like, sussed out this year, that I've like been so on it about, is starting to really flourish from the inside out. And it just feels really of substance, and something that I haven't experienced in a really long time. And I'll tell you that what life getting really good used to mean for me, in the way that I like would move about quite seasonally, and yeah, it was quite transient, was that things would get good right before they were going to change. Yeah, like I don't know, and now I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, well, is the reason that's true is because you wanted to, you were a lot more present. I'm asking myself, but like also this is an open convo, and it's like towards the end you wanted to soak up these people and these experiences as much as possible. So it's like it seemed like everything was getting really, really good because you were making the most of it. And I'm like, wow, because now it's like clearly, building, getting better and better and better. And then without that old programming of thinking, well, you better make the most of it now because it's all going to be gone soon. It's like such a different, my mom used to say, I'm convinced that you travel as much as you do just so that you can have a going away and welcome back party. And I was like, you know what? You're probably not wrong. I do love a party, and I love when people are like all in on the present moment, and just like loving each other so hard, and cherishing every single little mundane moment together as if it could potentially be the last. And that's when life is its best, right? When we can be in the moment every single day and just be like, wow, without a fear of like it being like taken away. Like it's not like you need to hoard these good moments, but it's that you're breathing life into every little vibration and believing that it will amplify, and that you are so grounded and so secure within yourself that whatever change comes about, you'll have as much to be grateful for and as much to learn from as the day before, or whatever's. every season's different in our life. And there are times when we're like in the depths and in the throes of it where it's like, you know what, I don't have the capacity to be open because I could know that this is probably going to teach me something right one day, but today's not the day. So I'm just going to let myself off the hook and not be like, I need this. What's the lesson? What's the silver lining? Like, how can I extract the wisdom out of that? And I find that we do, as people who identify, like as leaders, as people that, they're their business is them, they want to like just take any little thing and make it to be in service for others, which I can like totally relate to. That used to be my MO on the daily. And now I'm like, no, I'm going to revel in that richness. And then I'm going to, from a very full and vivacious cup, I'm going to sprinkle that ish all over town, So yeah, life getting better and better does not any longer mean for me that it's about to end. It means that being in the present moment, being grateful AF, choosing to like put your energy and show up for what is instead of wishing it was different or waiting until it was this or, the anticipation of that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So that's what I'm feeling. I'm like super in love with my life right now. And it, it's really feels amazing, Okay. I gotta share something with you. I was called forward by my childhood best friend, almost 30 years, Katie. And she said to me, I've noticed something, or I actually have not noticed something in your videos and the clips that you've been sharing recently. And I was like, go on, brace myself, because Katie's always, the people that see you and love you so unconditionally, their perspectives hold a lot of weight. They mean a lot. Like, I want to hear what she has to say always, because I know it's going to be for me, like the best intention, when you just love and trust that person, like fully, completely, you're going to take it on. And she was like, I'm not laughing. Like, I'm not laughing the way that we laugh. Like, I'm not, like, I don't know. Is it possible that you're maybe holding back some of the humor, like maybe leaning more into like the wise edge, or like, the mic drops rather than the knee slaps kind of thing? Like, where are all the D jokes, basically? And I was like, oh my God, you're right. You're completely right. And I know, like, I've been the first to say this, is that in my life, I feel most abundant when I'm like lulling. Just off my rocker, having that deep belly, delicious lull. I love it. I'm obsessed with laughing. So I'm like, you know what? Oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. I could definitely be, I can lean into that as well. And like, obviously it's because it's true. It opened up like all these little moments and memories for me as to where I felt like humor wasn't necessarily included in like my job description, even though I've literally always created my own job. Which was like, when I was doing body work and energy healing, I was like, I can't be a hilarious bitch in this profession. And, Katie said to me, she said, what a disservice. And I said, oh my God, are you ever right? And I was like thinking about how much we hold ourselves back, which is like, again, a disservice to ourselves. Like, that sucks because they're missing out on like one of the best parts of you. But, to that, anyway, are you with me? like don't hold back the thing that is like, has been your truest truth throughout your whole life that you share with your besties. It's like bring the best of you with bestie vibe forward, and trust that those, like, they're going to pick it up. They're going to be super stoked and like happily surprised as well. Like that one of the biggest aspects of your personality is now being brought forward, but then have right off the top of my head, there were 3 moments in my life where I felt like I was being in my like entertainer self and where that was squashed. And that's the truth, is like whenever we like, at various stages in our life when we like maybe have been the fullest expression in that moment, and we were like criticized for it, we were put down for it, we were told to like, tuck that away or hush down or like tone it down, which like I literally just said those words and I'm like, whoa, I know those words. So yeah, I'm aware of that and I'm taking action on it. And so like holding myself accountable, saying it out loud, that I'm going to be bringing more of my flavor to the table for us to share, because comedy is life. It truly is, without being forced. Definitely not going to script anything, Avi. But yeah, no, it's a big part of who I am. So I have been on the more serious side of things. So thanks for being with me on the journey. I do want to talk about this fun little chart. Trust me, it's a fun one, which is really basically the equation of flow state and looking at the 2 like major elements of flow, which are like natural talent, like inherent talent, and then skill. Here they are. So when they meet in the middle, when there's the same amount, kind of like 50-50 of skill and talent, then they meet in the middle and you're in flow and you're growing and you're moving and you're shaking. And it's like, it's great. Like you're going to experience the full reward of that, because it's like that just like that magnet point where it all happens. And both take effort. The talent needs to be practiced for it to be actualized, even though it's inherent. A lot of the time we suppress what's natural for us. Like I was just saying with the humor, it's like we have to get out of our own way to bring the best of us back to the center stage, right? And then with the skill, that's something we need to learn and to be consistent with and to show up for. And both require effort. The practice requires energy and effort, and the learning requires energy and effort, right? So have those be in alignment, and you're going to get the best of yourself. You're going to get the best results. It's all going to be happening for you. And it's always shifting and changing. So the same thing that worked last Tuesday is not going to be the thing that is like going to send it forward on this today, Friday, right? So you've got to be always really present with what are the door knocks of the day, and say, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to spend this much time, committed to the craft, the thing that I'm natural at, really good at. And then I'm also going to be learning a new skill so that I can keep kind of rising up and like raising the bar for myself and my expression, my creativity. Speaking of creativity, segue. Creativity is like a hardcore romantic. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but creativity is like alive, and something super beautiful about it is it's always looking for its match. Isn't that fresh? It's like I've got to be fulfilled. So I'm trying to find the right person that's going to carry this through, right? And it's like there's a window of opportunity where it shows up, lands on your little shoulder, and gives you a little whisper, are you the one? And if you're like, oh, I don't have any space, like I'm not hearing that, or like I'm in fear of that, or like now's not the right time, push it away, it goes up and it goes, well, I'm going to continue my quest to find my match. And then that's what it does. It keeps, because it's alive, you're alive, it wants to align and make a match made in heaven on earth. That's what creativity does. So it's like, the Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And she says, it's like the thing, like you may have an idea and then it doesn't become actualized through you. So that idea does not die. It needs to be crystallized with a active participant who's going to take it on board. So sometimes it happens that you see your very same idea that you had 3 years ago or whatever, and then someone else brings it forward. It's a book or it's something, and it comes to life because it found its match. So there's just a really lovely way of thinking about creativity. It just popped in this morning. It was like, I'm a romantic, and I'm like, hell yeah, you are. What's up? So it's like allowing yourself to be a little bit more of an active listener, and then active, can I say active action taker? A bit redundant, but we're okay. Yes. What's knocking on your door? What is wanting to get in your pants and then be expressed through you so that you can pursue what it is that you're here to do? What is it? Anything passing through your little love lane right now? A little creativity going, hey, are you listening? Have you got the space for it? You taking action on it? You getting out of your own way for it? What's happening for you? That's what I'm saying. Ooh, this is fun. So as we have natural tendencies, we also have natural aversions. Aversions can be illusions, right? So aversions can be like this thing over here, and you're like, no, I'm averse to that, so I'm going to avoid that. That's not always the right course of action. To lean into those aversions, you can often get some very rich lessons. And if the aversion is not something to be pursued, that's not a failure. It's a win. It's actually a success because it had you more in the direction of your full yes, because it taught you about a no. It was like, hey, this isn't me. This is actually Noodle. Hold on. There we go. She wants to go. It's my Noodle. Yeah, so it's like, don't, aversions are going to, the invitation is to get curious. And not to try and tap a rock, to get a bunch of delicious nectar, but also F around and find out of your aversions, right? Because it's going to teach you something. It's either, whoa, that was something I really needed to do that was actually preventing me from fully experiencing my craft. Or it's like, oh yeah, that's not me. Either way, you're learning. So lean in to your aversions from time to time. Don't obsess. Know when it's time to have the old step back, but don't avoid your aversions. Yeah? And that's, for me, a wrap, my loves. So thank you for hanging out with me. I love to share this time and space with you. It's such a delight. I hope you have a fab weekend or whatever, whenever you're listening to this. Take some beautiful, delicious time for yourself and spend it with the people you love, doing more of what you love. And we'll catch you back here on the flip side. Until the next time, much love from the roof.